All right, we should be starting. My computer has a little lag behind the starting of the stream, but yeah, I think we should be up and running. Let me restart the old tablet here. See if we have audio.
If you're a California homeowner that pays
Nope, I'm not. Let's see. Skip that. There we go. Yeah. Yay, we're live. All right. It's been a while since we've had a morning coffee live stream. And yeah, today we are working on the People Mover. This is actually the same engine as my 2012 Jeep Cherokee JK, the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6. Great engine. Whoa, this is off already. Almost lost my coffee there. Same engine as this. Yeah, you can kind of see me. Same engine as this, as in, let's see, 2012 through 2018 JK. The only difference is this engine. Here, let's take this cover off. A little sip of my morning cup of joe there. Get this out of the way. So the only difference between this is the way it's situated in the engine bay here. On my JK, the engine is turned this way. It's turned 90 degrees, so the belt on this side is actually in the front. The filter and stuff is more towards the front. And this is my, 2017 Dodge Caravan. And kind of funny story, my wife was coming back from a trip, and she was about 2 hours away, and it started running real rough. I'm like, oh, good grief. So I had her try a few things, couldn't get it fixed. Just with a few little troubleshooting things that I wasn't with her on the road, so that was a pain. So I ended up having to go get it and trailer it home. That was a whole ordeal, but it's back. And now I put a code reader on it, and I got, what was that code? P0320, I think it was. But, well, something like that. Or yeah, P0320. And what that is misfire in cylinder number 1. So I either have a bad coil pack, ignition coil on cylinder number, did I say cylinder number 1? It was actually cylinder number 2. On cylinder number 2, either the coil or the spark plug. Hopefully it's just as simple as that. So I'm gonna take you guys through the process, but unfortunately to get to the spark plugs on this engine, you have to take off the entire intake manifold. We gotta take the air box off. We gotta take the throttle body out. We gotta take a lot of these vent hoses. There's a lot that comes off. It's not a super hard, complicated process. There's just a lot of steps to it. So 3 of our spark plugs and coils are under here, and then 3 back there. So I'm gonna take you guys through the process of disassembling this. I'll be watching the chat here, hanging out with you guys. It's just kind of a fun time to hang out in the shop, chat together. Hey, looks like we got Isaac here from Freezing Off-Road. Good morning, Isaac. How are you? So if you didn't catch the beginning, we're going to be doing spark plugs on this Pentastar 3.6 liter V6, and they are under the intake manifold, which is just a hassle. So let's get to it. And I'll be watching chat as we go along. I think we're all set. And all right, go. What time is it? 9:04. So we'll see how long this job takes too. Oh, I think the lighting is actually decent. I was gonna put a light up here, but I don't think I will. So we're gonna start by removing some of these air hoses. And my worry with doing a job like this, honestly, is forgetting where things go. Because we're gonna be undoing a lot of little electrical back here. And I'm just always afraid that I'm gonna leave one little, oh yeah, that's right, there was a vacuum hose back here. I'm gonna leave one little thing, miss it or forget it, and then it's not gonna run good, and I'm gonna be back to square one. Where's my sockets? Let me get all ready here. So yeah, we've got our new plugs ready to go. These are NGK Iridium plugs, and I got a new coil ready to go as well. So let's see here. What? Sorry, I'm off camera right now, but I am looking for. What size is that? That's small. That's like an 8mm. Is it that small? Yep. Just a little strap on the back of the airbox here. Let's see. Looks like work. I'm doing good. Good, Isaac. I used to do live streams Wednesday mornings at 9 o'clock every week. I did every week for, gosh, over a year. And yeah, I had a good following. Had a regular group of 30 or 40 guys that would show up. We'd hang out and chat, and I'm sure some of them will pop on here and say hi, like, hey, it's a live stream. Because yeah, this used to be the routine. But then, honestly, life got too busy. Where am I going to put this? I just got so busy that it got tough to keep up with the live streams. So I had to kind of put live streams on the back burner. Okay. Oh, what's step 2? I got to take off this guy. There's a little, gosh, that was pulled up already. A little plastic retainer. That makes me wonder if somebody's had this intake manifold off before. Quite curious. So there's a lot of little electrical connectors on here I gotta take off. Who else is here? Truby fan, missed it. I just watch and work. No, you didn't miss it, you made it. Okay, there's that, and then on the back side of this air intake, gosh, I'm gonna need my light. Where's my light? See what's going on the back side here. You know what I want to do actually is I want to take the battery. I'm going to disconnect that. It's always a good idea. What is that, like a 13? No, it's a 10. Because I need to clean up because I'm doing this, I may as well clean up the battery terminal. So I want to disconnect this as well. Wait, what am I doing here? Yes, that's the clamp. I've done that before where I'm not loosening the clamp, but I'm undoing the cable. Like, oh, that's not what I want. There we go. Okay. Now, just fight with some of these clips on here. Tootsie's running around meowing. There's just a couple wire harnesses here. Oh yeah, here's another vent hose. It's gotta come off. I got to scram to work. Good luck. All right. Check back in later and you can see how it went. Let me grab some pliers on that. I don't know what's up with Tootsie. She's over there just meowing like mad. I don't know if you guys can hear her. I think she wants inside. She's been fed. She's taken care of. Okay, so there's that vent hose, and then the brake booster on the back side here. Let's get this. We'll go a little screwdriver under that. And we'll just see who else joins us here. We've got 10 people watching right now. Not our normal 30 or 40 or 50 we used to have, but people kind of learned that, I did that video where I talked about how I just couldn't keep up with the live streams anymore. Life got busy, there was a lot going on. I just couldn't maintain it, so I had to kind of change my priorities a bit. But that's life. I just need this little tab to come back a little bit. Come on. tab just slides back. That's the thing about automotive work, right? Oh, there it goes. Yep, just slid back. Automotive work, I love that saying of you're just one, any 3-hour job is one broken bolt away from a 3-hour or a 3-day ordeal. Just pulling some of these wire harnesses off of their little brackets and stuff. Because, yeah, this whole manifold has to come off. Okay, there we go. Now this guy. Isaac left us. Isaac has a fun channel. If you guys are interested in hopping over to Freezing Off-Road, he's got some fun automotive and dirt biking stuff going on. Let's see, I need a small flathead. See if I can get this tab off of this guy. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's probably almost better lighting for you guys without. And hopefully I can remember all the parts that I've undone there. Now, oops, lost my tablet. Now this doesn't have anything bolting it down, does it? Just that one little spot which I undid. Yeah, I think that should be free. Part of the air intake back here into the throttle body. Boy, lighting is always tough. It moves. I just don't want to break anything. This band there is off. There's two little posts that it sits on in the back, but they're just studs that it lifts off of. There you go. Why is it still stuck? There we go. Just had to lift straight up off of that stud back there. There we go. That was fun. So yeah, there's two little posts or studs going to the spots right there. I think the lighting is, it's okay. Nice thing about this job, I can actually have my coffee sitting right there. So right back here, there's 1, 2, 3 spark plugs, but of course it's not. Let's see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course my issue was not with 1, 3, or 6. Wait, 1, 3, or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Of course it wasn't one of those. It was number 2, which is right under here. It's always that way, huh? So we've lost a few people. We're down to 6 people. Well, that just goes to show that if you live stream regularly, people kind of learn when your live streams are and they'll tune in. But if you drop off, stop your live streaming regularly, and obviously people aren't there to. Just trying to undo this little plastic bracket on this hose. without breaking it. I guess I could try to just pop it up here. More than one way to do it. Yeah, I think that just comes straight up, yeah. Come on. Yeah, it's just a stud that fits down in there. Come on. Oh, you're right there. There we go. All right. Twist that out of the way a little bit. There we go. All right, so now, let's see, on the back side here, another vent hose here. Let me break that loose with my... A lot of these vent hoses, air hoses, if you just... If they kind of get welded on there, heat welded on there, just the plastic. So sometimes if you take a wrench and you just want to kind of break the seal, then it'll push off. There we go. Well, it started. Oh, come on. There we go, another vent hose. Okay. So I don't have to take, I thought I undid the brake booster line already. Oh, there's another one. And there's a crack in this hose. I might, yeah. From the brake booster to the intake here, this little hose right back here, it's got some cracks on it, brittle, which is not good. It's just a little small hose, so I'll be replacing that little section of hose. It's a nice thing, though, about doing your own work, if you possibly can. This little hose here, you guys are too far away to see. It's just a little tiny elbow, but you're gonna have to just trust me that there's some cracks on it. Might be able to get some fuel hose or transmission hose or something to replace that little elbow, so we don't have any leaks. Let's see, Tony D just popped on to wish you good luck. I had to take my 2012 apart to replace a leaky oil filter housing. My second tune-up is on the horizon. I'll be doing it again next year. Ugh. Yep. Hey, Tony. Yeah, it's always something. Like, good grief. Between my family, like me and my kids and my wife and all of our vehicles, there's just endless maintenance and stuff to do. And on this engine, 3.6 liter Pentastar. Same engine as my Jeep. But not only am I doing this, but the change oil light came on. Like literally the same time this happened. Which is not related, it's just time to change the oil, but yep, one other thing. Okay, that bracket off. Is it tied on down there too? No. Is it? No. hell. Okay, so there's 1, 2. You're just gonna have to trust me. Yep, and 3. Isn't there 3? Yes, there it is. 3 little bolts. Those are 10 millimeter, I believe. There's a little bracket on the back side of the throttle body here. 10 millimeter. Boom, first try. You know what, I'm gonna put my gloves on for my sensitive little hands here. Dirty gloves. Wait, that would be tightening. I'm gonna loosen it. How many times have you guys done that? Gotta take this bolt off. Let me try tightening it first. Yep, we've all done that. Little magnetic holders, love them. Keeping track of your nuts and bolts. If you don't have these, good grief, yeah, go get some. It's one of the best things to have. Then also, I try to kind of keep things in order. So like I put a bolt up there, one down there, and then the bottom one I'll put down here, just kind of like, and that's a 13 millimeter down there. Kind of in relation to where they sit. Is it deep set? It's a stud, so yes, a 13 deep set. And it's a little guy. I don't want a little guy. I want a 3/8. 13. There we go. Let's get something done. That's the other curious thing about watching a live stream of a guy doing a repair like this. If you want an honest, this is what it looks like. Yeah, watch a live stream of a guy doing a job. So many people comment, you know, when you're making videos about repairs, you know, all the little tedious stuff you leave out. I try to include in my videos, like, or mention something like, hey, this can be a huge hassle, like this part right here, and I'll kind of show it and talk about like some tips and tricks and how I did it. But you cut out a lot of the just trying to get that bolt in that spot, and just a little painful stuff. One of my videos on doing hubs. It was a hub on my 94 Wrangler. One of the guys showing all the hassle and pain it was. One of the guys, I got a comment, he said, finally, a realistic view of what it takes to do the hubs, because so a little bracket just came off the back there. So many videos were showing like, yeah, to do the hubs, you just take the wheels off and take the caliper off and then unbolt the hub and pop it off, and yeah, but oh my gosh, taking the hub off, massive pain. I think we are down to unbolting the manifold. So yeah, we got to take the entire stinking intake manifold off to do spark plugs. How crazy. Does that guy have to come off? Nope. Our fuel rail. Yeah, all the fun parts of the engine. Okay, so I got two little bolts. Oh, just kind of stretching my back out. Those look like 10 millimeter as well. Okay, so I got, get a 10 millimeter on that. And we'll make it deep set, yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? It's a tight fit down in there. So maybe I don't want deep set. The fit is too tight. We're at 11 people. Let's see. It's true. You've gotten me through so many issues. I'm rebuilding my 94 YJ, frame swap and everything. Oh, nice. Well, cool. I'm glad my videos have been able to help you out. It's one of the things I like best about YouTube is just helping people out. It's kind of fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy especially young people that are just learning automotive repair and how much money you can save doing it yourself. Good grief. I have saved, oh man, I bet I've saved $10,000 in my life doing my own repairs by now. But yeah, good grief, you can do a... I think the best example I like is when I got an estimate from, it was Les Schwab. I got an estimate from Schwab on a brake job. It was quite a while ago, but it was, I forget which vehicle it was even, but it was going to be, it was like almost $500 to do this brake job. And I was like, good grief, $500, okay, yeah, I'll be back. And then I started, I think I got my friend Jason to help me or something. And we did the job for, like the complete job for like 150 bucks or something. So, yeah, I put $350 in my pocket. So a $500 brake job I did for 150 with better parts. And I learned, so then you can take that 350 bucks. And yeah, you have to have your own tools, but you can take that 350 bucks, buy your own tools. It's just good stuff. So there's two little bolts on the front side of the manifold here. Those guys come off. I took off my sensitive hands, gloves. Okay, those two bolts now, I think we are down to, there are 7 manifold bolts. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think everything else is off on this manifold. Manifold is about ready to come off, guys. Buckle up your seats. Hold on, here we go. So 10 millimeter with an extension, and yeah, we'll use the big guy. Let's see, 10 millimeter. Grab one of my extensions over here. How much of an extension do I want? So yeah, start, I would rather do, $300 job on a car. Well, it's not 10 millimeter. Good grief, what is that, like 8 millimeter? Then I can't use my big, where's my 8 millimeter? Yeah, they are 8 millimeter, okay. I guess I'll use a 1/4 inch adapter. Because I don't have 1/4 inch extensions. Well, I might have one somewhere, but I'm not going to fiddle around and try to find that right now. Speaking of finding stuff, I am missing my code reader. If any of you guys have my code reader or know where my code reader is, I'd really like to get it back. I've looked all around my shop. I can't find it. It's not in its normal spot. The spot I always keep it. It's not laying around the shop anywhere. I've looked up and down. I've looked in my Jeep. I've looked in some of my cars. If any of you know where my code reader is, let me know. That'd be super helpful. I'd appreciate it. Okay, we're going to go into speed mode now. So I've got all these broken loose. put this back together, honestly, I'm probably not gonna. I don't think I'll live stream the reassembly because, I don't know, it's boring. Reassembly is the reverse of what I'm doing now. But there is a torque sequence on the reassembly. Okay, so we are free. So back end pops up, and then it shifts back, pops off, and there's our intake manifold. Yay, we did it. We're 40% of the way there. Oh, that calls for some coffee. Intake manifold's off. Now this fancy little foam piece. I'm trying not to drop anything down into the intake there. So I'm being gentle with this because this has dust and sand and garbage on it. Now, one thing I wanted to do, which I did not prepare and bring out here, which I wanted to try something, which I'm going to go get. I will be right back. It's going to take me like 20 or 10 seconds. I'm going to go get a piece of saran wrap. Hey, Tootsie, yes, you can go inside. There we go. Because you want to keep, you absolutely don't want to drop anything down your intake there. Down into the head. You can stuff rags down in there, paper, whatever you need to do, but I'm actually going to try laying a little saran wrap over this. Because that'll keep all the dust and debris out. The question will be, is that saran wrap going to stay? I think so. That looks pretty darn good if you ask me. Until it falls apart. We'll see. We're up to 12 viewers. How are you guys doing? I've missed our morning, Wednesday morning live streams, but we're back. Okay. Good grief. Yeah, look at all this sand and garbage. Before I start taking, I'm going to shop vac that real quick. I don't know if you guys can even really see that. I don't have a close-up camera, but you have to trust me. Here, I'll get a little bit. Where's my camera? Yeah. See, look at that. Just picked up a little handful of dirt that's just settled on the, gosh, what is that? Valve cover? Now I got a handful of dirt. Like, where do I put this dirt? Okay, shop vac. So I'm going to vacuum that up. Then I'm going to blow it off with a little bit of air. You just want to, at this stage, be very careful about not getting debris down into your engine. Because then you're going to start causing cylinder issues, piston issues, ring issues, score the cylinder walls, cause an oil leak. You know what's going to happen here? This is going to be super funny. So I'm going to vacuum this up. While I'm vacuuming it up, my fancy little saran wrap's going to go funk. What do you think? What are the odds? 3 to 1? I don't know. How do odds work? Okay, here we go. Loud noise. Plug your ears. Turn your volume down. Here we go. not bad. I didn't suck the saran wrap up like I was totally thinking would happen. Set my coffee somewhere. Love a good dark roast. We got 11 people on. If you're on, say hi, say good morning. Let me know what you're up to. Okay, so we got that vacuumed up. Took a little brush, kind of broke up some of the other dirt. I'm still going to take compressed air to get in all the little nooks and crannies that my vacuum couldn't reach. I've got my compressed air all ready to go here somewhere. Here we go. Here we go, here we go. I really want to get a new different spray nozzle for this. See all that extra dirt that I'm kind of blowing it away from the intake. That'll do it. Okay, air hose going out of the way. So now, this is the one that was giving me issues, number 2. Do they have these labeled? They don't. It's a Chrysler. I was just wondering if this one's ever been replaced or anything. So let's disconnect our electrical here. Push the tab down, pull it off. I'm doing all the spark plugs. So all the electrical connectors are coming off, but these ones you can't really get out of order. When you're doing this on your older Jeep, number these 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, like put them in order because you don't want to get them out of order. The way these wire harnesses is on this one though, it's very obvious where they go. You're not going to get them out of order on your 3.6 liter engine. And also the other thing I'm doing when I'm pulling these out, I kind of push them in a little bit, push the tab down, then pull it out, comes out nice and easy. Now that looks like a 10 millimeter. This is the one that was giving me issues, number 2. Just gonna break these guys loose because we're doing all the spark plugs. But I'm gonna do them one at a time. They're not super tight. Boy, just a quarter of a turn and they're loose. So I'm going to do them one at a time, but I am going to pull number 2 and 4 at the same time because I want to compare them. And yeah, my friend Jason had a good idea. He said, clear the code, like I was getting cylinder number 2 misfire. He said, switch, like 2 and 4, reset the codes, then drive it again, and then see if number 4, because then you know it's your coil or spark plug. If you switch those, that's not some other issue with electrical issue or something. Because then number 4 should start having the problem. But they hid these spark plugs and coils down so far under the intake manifold that I don't want to do this job twice. So I just bought a new coil for number 2 here and new spark plugs, because you're supposed to do spark plugs at like 100,000 miles. This has, gosh, what is it? It's over 80,000 miles on it. So we're almost due for spark plugs. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to do all new spark plugs, and I'll spend the extra $30 for the one coil so I don't have to do this job twice. If that doesn't fix it, then yeah, I don't know where we're going from there. We'll have to check codes again. Let's see. Hans is here. It's been so long since I've caught a morning coffee stream. Yep. It's been a while. Good morning. Good morning. What vehicle is this? This is a Pentastar 3.6 liter V6. Same engine in my Jeep Cherokee JK, but this is my people mover. This is my van. 2017 Dodge Caravan. Wife's car for moving people around. But the cool thing about it is it's the same engine as my Jeep. So, you know, working on it is similar to working on my JK. Yeah, see, I wonder if the coil is still good. Yeah, watch me mix them up. Oh, wait, which was which? This was number 2. This was number 4. So yeah, you want to do spark plugs one at a time because you don't want to leave your cylinders just open, so dust and debris and stuff can fall down in your cylinder. But I really want to compare spark plug 2 and 4 here. So I'm going to be taking 2 of them off. Living dangerously. Can you guys see? You can barely even see that on camera. Boy, that's pretty slick. My intake here, I've got saran wrap over that. Just so people don't panic, like, dude, you're gonna drop stuff. You're gonna drop dirt and garbage down there. What would be bad is if I dropped a socket, punk, it would just go, it would fall down in there. Oh, yeah, before I pull socket, I want to blow a little more air down there. Because, let's see here. Now that we got the coil out, you can still have a little bit of debris down in there, so we're going to just shoot a little bit of air. The goal of that is just to keep debris out. Now, where did I set? Where did I set my wrench? I didn't put it back. It's not right there. You guys don't ever do that, do you? Like, I literally just had this wrench in my hand. It's not up here. Good grief. Oh, here it is. It's like it vanished. Okay, good morning. What videos do you or would you recommend upgrading the coils to performance aftermarket coils? I don't think so. I don't really know what advantage that would give you. I mean, what's a coil? All the coil does is say fire, 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 fire. Performance, is it gonna, I don't know, maybe give a better spark? It might give a better spark. I wouldn't, just personally. Can't say though that that's 100% the right answer. I just don't think it would be, I don't really think you'd notice much difference. See what this spark plug looks like. This is cylinder number 2, the one that was giving me issues. So if you're just joining, yeah, my wife was driving our people mover back from up north. She was a couple hours away and it started running really rough and shaking. And she was not comfortable driving it, which is probably a good idea because she could have like damaged the engine, well, or damaged the catalytic converter. It's pretty dark. Almost feels like a little oil on it. Let's see what number 4 looks like. It's a little sticky. You don't want oil on it. So that's not good. So she was driving this back and it started running real rough. She had to pull over, had her troubleshoot a few things. Couldn't get it running smoothly. So she had to abandon the vehicle and I had to trailer it home. A few days later, got it home, put a code reader on it. We got a misfire on cylinder 2. And boy, that spark plug makes me a little nervous. Honestly, I'm hoping this one has kind of the same feel on the threads. Nope. Yeah, the threads on this one are cleaner. Yeah, it doesn't make me feel real good. Let's see. So here's number 1, here's number 2, or number 2, number 4. Number 2, this has got oil. It's wet. This one, pretty dry. We'll put this back together and see. Gosh, I'm gonna take a picture of that real quick because I might have further investigation to go on this. I did not want to see oil on the... Let me grab my phone real quick so I can snap a picture. Okay. Sorry about that little intermission there. It's going to be a bad picture with that white background. What are you guys' thoughts and feelings on this? Spark plug number 2 is a little oily. So obviously oil is slipping up past. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not terribly wet, but it's just a little wetter than I would like to see. Just on the threads, they're just a little gooey. I mean, the tip of the spark plug looks okay. Like, it's not all gunked up there, but just the threads. Yeah, I don't know. Not a super fan of that right now. So, Let me see what you guys are saying. Like, dude, your engine's toast. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Good morning. What vehicle is this? Leak in the valve cover. Yeah. Yeah, there at the bottom there is a seal at the bottom. Oh, I just heard a car start. There's a seal at the bottom of these valve covers. So, oh my gosh, I do not want to pull this valve cover right now. But it does have, there's a little bit of oil on there. So, leak in the valve cover. Yes, Ryan, on the 3.6, I've just heard of problems with upgraded coils. Yeah, that sounds like a valve cover issue. Easy enough fix. Had a GMC. The valve cover doesn't need to be replaced. Little gaskets around the spark plugs. Run it. Start it up. See what happens. Just run the... So it's not horribly oily. I've got everything with me to put this back together, run it, then just knowing I might be doing oh good grief, doing a valve seal job on this in the future. We need our van, we need to use it. Put it back together, it could run 20,000 miles, no problem. Or 1,000 miles from now, it could start to have issues again. But I don't want to leave it torn down like we need it. Like I need to get all the parts and just kind of be ready for that job. comes down to I'm not ready for that job right now to do the valve cover and the seals around the spark plugs. But it sounds like that's something I might need to do. So I think I'll put it back together. I know the coil's probably good then. Do I replace the coil? Or just replace the spark plug? I'll replace the coil because I don't want to go through all this, put it back together, and still get that misfire. Like, oh, the coil was bad too. I'll replace the coil. I'll just do that because I don't want to dig back into this like later this week. And then I'll just know that if I get this same running rough misfire issue in the future, I'll know what it is and what I'm getting into. I wonder what a valve, yeah. My worry is I don't want to be like on a trip. Like, good grief, you know. I'm 500 miles away from home and then, like it starts giving me issues. At that point, I'd have to just take it to a shop, drop it off, get a rental car. Let me know when it's done. Which, yeah, that'd be, $1,000, $1,200 or whatever. Or do I just put it back together? Yeah, it's probably the smartest thing to do, which, so hard. Put it back together, get it running, run it for right now, order the parts I need to do the valve cover and the seals around the spark plugs. Investigate that, see what all is involved with doing that job, which honestly, you got to tear apart a bit more, but not a ton. So I'll put it back together right now, have my wife drive it, like go ahead and go for it. Like we've got an issue with valve 2, with spark plug 2. It'll drive, it'll run right now because new plugs and everything. Let's see, run it. Why is it a valve cover issue? Just joined. Valve cover issue because under the valve cover, each one of these spark plugs has a seal around it. Down inside under the valve cover, and if that seal goes bad, it'll leak oil around the spark plug. It's fine to put it together, but only use the vehicle for what you need it for and lower RPMs, baby it. Oh, gotcha. Coil could also be bad, yes, as in top of the spark plug, the threads. I'm doing a BMW job with puddles of oil on top of the spark plugs. Oh, yeah, same issue. This one isn't puddles of oil, so that's a little encouraging. I don't know if you saw, but let's see, I'm trying to see on camera, there we go. There's spark plug 1 and number 2 and 4, and this one you can see it's just a little oily, so oil's getting up on top of the spark plug where it doesn't belong. So yeah, I got valve seal issues around the spark plugs. So, yeah. So I'm going to put it back together, run it, and go ahead and let my wife drive it, and then I'll have new spark plugs in it. If they get a little oily, I'll just clean them off, put them back in. The coil will be good, and I'll just plan on doing a valve job on this down the road when I've got some days off and time to tear into it. So yeah, that's where we're at. Let's grab our spark plug gapper doohickey. And these gaps are supposed to be 0.040. I think these plugs are gapped already, but they're at 0.043. So I think these are gapped a little too wide. Let's just check that. Oh. I get to do a valve cover on this. Yay. Not like I've got other projects and things going on. Oh, actually, that's pretty darn good. I want to be really careful with these tips. Yeah, it's like 4.2. Zero 40. Dang, got bigger issues going on. Although it's not the end of the world. We're clean. I don't need any thread compound on this because these are already ready to go. My gap is good, 040. We'll just feed this down in here. You want to do this by hand until you get it threaded in there good. And yeah, I might end up fouling the plug again, but these will be new plugs, and when I do the valve cover, those seals, I will clean off the spark plugs at that time. So that'll be an evening of just hanging out in the shop, working on the van. Let's see, morning. Oof. Get a shot of the spark plug as well. Spark plug well. Yeah, that involves like moving the camera, which then you'll complain about being motion sick. Just getting these guys threaded in there nicely. We'll clear the code, and then, I wonder if this is two different issues. I wonder if like the coil went bad, and then like, yeah, this seal's been leaking a little bit of oil, but that's not the reason it died, which is quite possible. Where's my book? Did I not bring my book out here? I didn't. What do I need? I need a sip of coffee. We've been streaming for an hour. Woohoo! I got to get my my Haynes manual. So I need some torque specifications. Oh, scared Tootsie half to death. I need torque specifications on these spark plugs. I wonder if you guys can still hear me when I'm clearing in my living room here. Haynes repair manual. If you guys don't have a Haynes manual, highly recommend. Whenever I get a new vehicle, new to me vehicle, I always buy a manual because there's all kinds of stuff in here you need, like torque specifications. Spark plugs. 168 inch-pounds. All right, let's do it. 168. Okay, where's my little guy? Okay. There he is. Yeah, I wonder if... I'm highly suspicious of that, though. Like, I'm over or creating a bigger deal than it really is. Like, maybe that valve has been leaking for... Oh yeah, that's been leaking for 3 years. Just slowly, a little bit on there. But your coils went out. Your coil went out. That's why we're getting misfire number 2, not because your spark plug. Because the tip of the spark plug actually looked okay. I mean, it looked similar to number 4. Like, it wasn't caked in oil is what I'm saying. So, I don't know. I'll do some. You guys can leave a comment. Leave a comment. Let me know. What's your experience? You had a little bit of oil on the threads. And where'd you go from there? Boy. It's almost like they want you to see these numbers. Is that 160? Nope. That's 160. So that would be 168 right there. I need my 1/4 to 3/8 adapter. There it is. I need to get a inch-pound torque wrench that has a 3/8 drive on it. Let's see. Just do the coil to be safe. Yeah, I'm going to do the coil. I think that's what you're dealing with. Yeah? Do you think that seal's been leaking for a while? Swapping the coil. Swapping the coil to the new would tell you if it's actually the coil's bad, or if it's a fault of the spark plug or something else. Yes, true. Don't want to go through all that hassle though. Dude, it's just a bad coil or injector. You know Amazon has smartphone endoscope to look inside the combustion chamber for cheap. Yes. And I actually have one of those little guys. We do know that this is leaking a little bit. Is it the issue for the failure? That is the question. Okay, new coil. Let's go ahead and drop our new coil on there before I get these guys out of order. And do you look just the same? Whenever you're putting new parts on like this, make sure to compare them that they look identical before you start putting things together. There we go. So that should be my bad coil if it was the coil. And these guys, they don't have a torque spec on the torque spec on them is snug. Let's see, they had the cylinder head problems on the front one from my misfire. What? They had cylinder head problems on the front one for mine from misfire. Huh. A cylinder head issue, huh? No bueno. Snug. Yep. And this is due for spark plugs anyway, so I'll go ahead and do those. We'll see if any of the others... You know what? As I pull these other spark plugs, that's a good idea. Good idea, Dale. As I pull these other spark plugs, I'll be able to look at the threads on them, and heck, maybe they're all, you know, like this one was just particularly dry, but maybe these other ones are a little wet too. Let's just check and see. The spark plug 1 and 2 are done. Or no, that would be actually 2 and 4. And we're on to number 6. I want this bad one out of the way. Don't want to end up using that bad one again. A little bit of goo on the boot there. Don't know if that's oil. No, it's just just a little bit of goo on it for some reason. A little squirty squirty. Wow, that's loud. There's that, and this. I'll keep these in order so I can really compare them as I pull these plugs out. What are we at? We're at 15 people right now. 15 people if you are new and just joining. So I was, this is the 3.6 liter Pentastar engine on my van. It's the same engine as, okay, same engine as my JK. So honestly, this one's got like a little goo on it too. That is honestly a little encouraging to me because the tip on all of these actually doesn't look that bad. So the threads, my hood's in the way. Try to get this close to where you guys can see. There we go, somewhere right around there. So both of these have a little bit of a shine on the threads. The tips are actually pretty dry, like there's not a lot of oil, so that's a good sign. There might be a little bit of a leak around the seal at the bottom of the plugs, under the valve cover. But that's a little encouraging to me because when I pulled number 4, so here's number 2 and 4, you can see the difference there. So number 2, boy, I hope that's on camera. Boy, number 2 here is just kind of oily looking on the threads, where when I pulled this one was like just pretty darn dry. I was like, so I pulled this one, I was like, oh, huh, yeah, it's a little wet, like, well, let's see. Pulled this one, and I was like, oh no, like, they're dry, like that's not normal, they're supposed to be dry. So I just pulled number 6, and number 6 kind of looks like that. So I'm like, okay, well maybe these have been leaking for a little while, you know, just a little bit of leak, like it happens. Don't go overkill on it, on the worrying. So that's a little encouraging. I'm looking for little bits of false hope. Okay. New spark plug. So that's kind of leading me to think maybe it was the coil. Maybe. .040 on the plugs. I'll probably get somebody saying, dude, you don't want to tap on it to... I'm barely tapping, barely moving it. Okay. So I need this guy. And the threads on this, don't need any thread compound on these. Some of them you do, but not on this one. Gonna thread it in by hand here. And we're halfway done with our spark plugs. Okay, those ones on the back. I'm gonna have to use a shorter. These front ones are easy, so just bam, right here. Those back ones, they I have to use a shorter extension. Let's torque this guy. Yes. Let's see. Dude, it's just a bad coil or injector. Yeah. I sure hope you're right. The cylinder had problems with the front of my... How? Put tape over the intake ports. Prevent FOD. Yes. You can't really hardly see it, but I actually have I have saran wrap over the intake ports there. So check. Good eye. Smart, Hal. And yes, I have done that. Okay, let's put this coil pack back in. Yeah, who is that? Dude. Oh, that was Hal. It's just a bad coil or injector. Thank you, Hal. I appreciate the encouragement. Yeah, sometimes when I'll get involved in a job and it's like, oh no, I'm gonna have to replace the engine. Doom and gloom. Oh no, did you check your dipstick? Yes, sir. Yeah, actually when my wife was on the road, when I had her troubleshooting some things, I had her check the oil. And the oil actually looks really pretty good. It is due for an oil change though, like the oil change light came on. Okay, let's hook these guys back up. Make sure they're on there good. Okay. Honestly, that'd probably fix my problem right there. Boom, done. But no! I blew that off with air back there, yes, okay. We're gonna continue and do the rest of the spark plugs because it's almost time. Spark plugs were like 10 bucks a pop. I was gonna do one of them anyways, may as well do all of them because it's about due. Yeah, come on. Coil looks good. Spray a little bit of air because I like spraying air down in there. Clean out any goo. I need a better nozzle on my, and you're grab a shorter extension here. There's a little threaded piece on this. Looks like it's loose. That would be bad. Drop that down in there. Okay. Hopefully this is the perfect size to reset. Did you swap them? Swap what? I'm not going to swap them and then start it up and be like, oh yeah, now number 4 is bad. Well, let me take it all apart again. No, I'm going to, it's worth just replacing the one. Let's see, the Pentastars have bad coils. It's the problem. Good. Broncosaw, good idea. If he moves it to an easily accessible spot without having to deal with the bulky intake plenum. Hal, you are a smart guy. Yeah, and of course it was, because if it was on the backside back here, I may have just swapped it because I wouldn't have had to take off the whole intake. But being that it was number 2, it's just kind of a hassle to get to. I wanted to just go ahead and replace it. So this plug, yeah, it's due to be changed. But the threads are dry. Dry, dry, dry. So taking note of that, a sip of coffee. Lukewarm coffee now. New spark plug. So what was Hal saying? These Pentastars have bad coils. Let's gap this. Is that what he was saying? Pentastars have bad coils. It's a problem. Yeah. So this went, gosh, what was it? 80,000, 88,000, something like that. Before I got a problem with it. And these are all original. All original coil. A little too much. I hate gapping spark plugs because it's so precise. Such tiny movements. And of course, I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to these things, and I'm like, oh, needs to go just a smidge this way. Oh, just a smidge that way. Okay, there we go. That's good. Good idea to, exactly. Dale Edelbrock makes a supercharger for 3.6, more power, and gets rid of that stupid intake plenum. That's a good idea. Haha, that would be epic, the sleeper van. Wet threads can be a host of issues. Yep. Sleeper van would be cool. Family truckster. Yeah, that would be cool. What does it do? Let's see. Supercharger for the 3.6. I need to do that on my JK. That would be cool. What would that do to your fuel economy? Because one thing with my people mover here, honestly, I want good fuel economy on it. Spark plug number 1. I love how Hal caught the intake port. He's like, dude, cover those up, put tape over it. Tape would be a great idea. But yeah, you can barely see that I have saran wrap over it because I just wanted to try saran wrap. And so far, the saran wrap's working great. But I like how Hal caught that. Dude, cover it up. Yes. All right. Number 1 is done. Coil back on. This job is actually going pretty good. Just one step at a time. For a shop to do this, I looked it up. It's like a $300 job. It always makes me feel better. Like, look, I just saved us $200. Yes, sorry, I was just thinking, did I torque that? Spark plug? It's the other thing, working on stuff like this, I'm always afraid, like, oh, I missed a step. Oh, there was one step I missed on an epic project. What was it? Oh, it was the intake exhaust manifold on my 94 YJ when I was doing the head on that. And I put the gasket on backwards. And fortunately we caught it later, but it meant dude, you're taking the manifold back off. It's just one simple little mistake. Like, I think I even talked about it on camera. Make sure you get this on the right way. There's a manifold side and derba. And then me, I put it on backwards. But, you know, honestly, I just did that to show you guys an example of what not to do. Entirely, that was it, yeah. See, the boots on these look pretty good. I mean, they're not covered in oil. I can't see down in there, but the front side wasn't covered in oil. Little spray here. People are probably, or Bronco Solid's probably wondering like, hey, how is he spraying that out using compressed air and I don't hear his air compressor kicking on? Well, I got my big 60 gallon. I got my big 60 gallon tank and I got it all charged up beforehand and then turned it off. So the 60 gallon tank, it'll be plenty of air to get me through this job. Let's see. I always use painter's tape. Yeah, painter's tape is a really good idea. Painter's tape, so if something hits it like a socket, it might bounce off. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's probably a better idea than saran wrap. I think the wet threads are from PVC system not being completely dry. Some oil makes it past the PCV valve into the intake. Cold startups with oil sitting on top of the pistons gets past the threads. Yeah, it could be. And is stopped by the gasket. The PVC valve is weak in my opinion. Dale, because he's got a large compressor now. That's right. Got a friend that installed the Edelbrock SC on his 14JK and loves it. You know what? I need to do that. That'd be cool. I have some other work I got to do on my JK first. I need to do entire tie rod, steering damper, all that. It's all loose. But it's a 2012. So it is time. Yeah, and this one is dry. Where's the camera? Can you guys see that? Yeah, there we go. This one's dry, doesn't look bad. It's just those front ones were oily. The back ones look better. Let's see, another spark plug. Honestly, I was planning on not doing a super long live stream, but honestly, this is kind of fun. Just hanging out, some people popping on every now and then, saying, hi, what's up? It's been a while since we've done our live stream. So I wasn't planning on live streaming for 2 hours, and we're an hour and a half into it. And heck, I'm just going to keep live streaming because it's kind of fun. And I love reading the comments. I'm out. Good luck with that. All right. Bye, Bronco Solid. So spark plug number, let's see, that's 1. This is 3. But it's the 5th one I've done. But this is cylinder number 3. All right, let's torque that guy. Alrighty. Number 3 coil. So I wonder if Hal was saying I should just replace all these coils. You can get an entire 6-pack coil kit, but I just got the one. Local shop had it. If I end up with another, in a few months, I don't know, 6-9 months down the road, whatever. If I end up with another misfire on another cylinder because of a coil, yeah, I'll just do the whole set. I'll get one of the set of 6. They're like, I don't know, they're like $100 or something for 6 of them. let's see, 10 people on. If you're still on, go ahead and say hi. Let me know what you're up to. Are you at work? Your day off? Are you retired? Most of my audience are 40, 50, 60-year-olds. A lot of people some people in their 30s and 20s. But generally, yeah, it's kind of 30, 40, 50-year-olds. 60. Some people in their 70s. Hi, Dale. Who's that? Oh, it's Hal again. If you have to do the same job on the JK, get a new PCV valve and replace it when you replace the coils. Yes, good idea. Juan, just graduated from college in May. Awesome. Any advice on getting a job? Been applying like crazy. Well, after you apply, follow up. I would give it anywhere from 3 or 4 days to a week, but no longer than a week. Like if you drop an application off on Tuesday, then Monday of the next week I'd call back. Be like, hi, this is Juan. I'm 23, big fan of Jeeps. Sold my TJ to pay for tuition last year. Oh, Juan, I've been there. I wanted a Jeep for a long, long, long time. It was just never practical, and then finally I was able to get one. You'll get there. Oh shoot, I didn't blow that one out with air, did I? Because I'm busy yakking. So yeah, on getting a job, yeah, it's probably the best piece of advice. After you apply, drop off your resume, put together a nice resume, have somebody proofread your resume for you, and give you tips on how to put together a good resume. Drop it off, and a week later, check back in. This is Juan. I dropped my application off. I was just checking to see. And then when you get to the interview process, kind of practice doing some interviews. Practice online, practice with friends and family. Like, hey, could you do an interview with me? Like, it sounds weird, but honestly, it's good practice. And then just, yeah, be prepared for those interview questions. But then also think of some questions, because they're going to ask you, like, do you have any questions for us? And then somebody, I read recently a really good question to ask. They said, ask the employer during the interview, like, do you have any questions for us? Say, like, yes, like somebody in this position that I'm applying for, what do you envision a successful employee in this position looks like a year from now? What qualities and things do you see? And that kind of takes them back, like, oh, okay, so he's thinking of like a long term, like a year from now, like what do we see like a very successful employee looking like? Ask them about, just growth opportunities within the company. And then, yeah, don't be annoying, but be the squeaky wheel of checking back in. Like, yeah, this guy really wants this job. And yeah, saving up for your Jeep, yeah, just takes time. You're young, 23. I saved for my first Jeep for many, many years. Rocco has a good deal on standard brand Blue Streak coils. Huh, Blue Streak, I haven't heard of that. I've got 1.5 years before I can retire and move out. Out of California, Stan. Yeah, a year and a half. Hang in there, Hal. Yeah, I've got a ways to go before I... Were you always in healthcare, Dale? Yes. Well, not always. I've had other jobs. I worked at a 7-Eleven. I worked at a Pizza Hut. I worked at a golf course as a maintenance guy, greenskeeper. I worked at a hotel as a maintenance guy. Went to college. Got my RN. Worked as a nurse in critical care for 20 years. That's one reason I love working in the shop, because this is completely different than healthcare, because sometimes I just need to get away from it. Which is funny. My friend and I Bronco Solid Whales joke about, yeah, here's a nurse, and my friend Bronco Solid, he's a, what did I just do? You guys are distracting me. I just torqued this, right? He's a computer guy, like a IT guy. So yeah, here's a nurse and computer guy giving advice on or examples of automotive repair on Jeeps and stuff. Well, if you want a nurse's perspective, this is what I would do. But I've always been pretty mechanical and handy with technical stuff, and I do my research. I don't just wing it. I try to get things right. I'm very particular and careful about stuff. So let's see. Damn, 20 years. You give me hope to still look young in the future. Yep. Stay healthy, exercise, take care of your body. That's the thing, is like, yeah, exercising is kind of cliche, but it takes decades, or not decades, it takes years. It affects you, and just your cardiovascular health, a lot of the rest of your body, just developing those habits of exercise and staying healthy. Let's see, Mike, hey, Mike's on. It's been a while, yeah. Doing a job on my people mover. This is the Pentastar 3.6 liter V6. Same engine as my JK, but this is on my van, my wife's car, the people mover. And I was getting a misfire on cylinder number 2. Replace the spark plug coil. To do that, to get to the spark plugs on this, good grief, you have to take apart the entire intake manifold, throttle body, air box, all that. Connections, air hoses is kind of a pain. Not hard. It's not a hard job. It's just time consuming, lots of little bits and pieces. Anyways, good to see you, Mike. Juan, how's the virus like in your field? Pretty rough. We are very busy and very full. There is no lie about that. So, all right, I've got all the spark plugs done. All the coils back in. They're all tightened down. Spark plugs are all torqued. Now it's time to start putting stuff back together. I don't want to... Yeah, this live stream is already an hour and a half long. It's a good live stream. It was good to catch back up with you guys, but I don't want to go through like putting everything back, because it's kind of tedious just putting everything back. It's the reverse order of what we started with. The spark plugs, yeah, I'm not as worried as when I initially started, because there's a little oil on 2 and 6 on the threads, kind of on the front end. The back end, the plugs are a little drier, but you know, 2 and 4, they're not horrible. The boy, the tips of these though, boy, they are burnt down. Burnt down to little nubbins. So it's a good thing I did all the spark plugs. So Mike, I hate to bail on you, but I think I'm gonna end the stream here and take a break for a minute myself, and then just put things back together. Thank you guys so much for your continued support, and thanks for joining me on the live stream. We'll have another live stream in the future. Hopefully on a Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock. I'll try to announce it ahead of time if I know I have a project coming up that I want to do that on. I'm currently in the midst of working on painting my YJ. I haven't laid any paint yet, but gosh, the prep work. Oh, so much prep. I hate the prep. I've never been a big fan of sanding and all the prep work though. Clear back to my woodworking days and all that. So you guys take care. Thanks for joining, and I will see you in Friday's video. Have a good day. See ya.